You ever notice how the lion doesn't make noise before it strikes? The most powerful people in the room are usually the quietest. That's not by accident. When everyone else is talking, they're giving away their position. They're showing their cards. But you're watching, you're learning, you're calculating your next move. That's what I mean by stay quiet. Not silent because you have nothing to offer. Quiet because you're strategic about when you speak. Because when you do open your mouth, it means something. Most people can't handle silence. They feel this need to fill every empty space with words, with noise. But that noise, it's usually just that noise. I was on a movie set years ago. Everyone was talking about what they were going to do in the scene, how they were going to nail it. One actor, though, he sat in the corner, reading his script. When the cameras roll, guess who stole the scene? The quiet one. The one who wasn't wasting energy broadcasting his intention. That's power. When you talk less, people listen more. Your words carry weight. They have value, and that's what we're after. Not being heard for the sake of being heard, but speaking when it matters. And let me tell you something else. Hey, staying quiet doesn't mean being passive. Far from it. Which brings me to the second part. Stay dangerous. Now, when I say dangerous, I'm not talking about being harmful. I'm talking about being a force. Someone who can't be ignored. Someone who, when they decide to make a move, makes everyone take notice. You know what makes you dangerous? Knowledge. Skills. Discipline. I remember training for a role once. Had to learn boxing. I didn't talk about it, didn't post about it. Just showed up at 4 a.m. every day for 6 months. When filming started, the director looked at me and said, "I didn't know you could move like that." That's being dangerous. Having something in your back pocket that people don't see coming. The most dangerous person in the room isn't the loudest. It's the one who's prepared. The one who's been putting in work while others were sleeping. The one who knows things others don't. So while everyone else is out there showing off what they know, you're quietly adding to your arsenal. Building yourself, working on your craft, whatever that craft may be. But here's the thing. Being quiet and dangerous means nothing if you can't maintain focus. That's why you got to stay focused. Focus is rare these days. Everyone's distracted. Phone buzzing every 2 minutes. Notifications, emails, social media, Netflix. There's always something pulling at your attention. And that's exactly why focus is so valuable. Because when everyone else is scattered, the focused person wins. How do you stay at the top for so long? Focus, like that's it here. Simple answer. I decided what mattered to me decades ago, and I've been putting one foot in front of the other ever since. You think success is complicated? It's not. It's about doing a few things extremely well, consistently over a long period of time. You know what the problem is? Most people can't stick with anything long enough to become excellent at it. They're always looking for the next thing, the shortcut, the hacks. There are no shortcuts. Started acting in my 20s. You think I became successful overnight? No. For years, I was just another guy trying to make it, but I kept showing up, kept learning, kept working on my craft when nobody was watching. That's focus. Focus means saying no to good opportunities so you can say yes to great ones. It means not getting distracted by what others are doing. It means having the discipline to stick with something when it gets hard, when it's not fun anymore, when you're not seeing results yet. Most people quit right before the breakthrough, right before things are about to turn around, because that's usually when it's hardest. You got to be willing to stand alone sometimes, to trust your vision when nobody else does, to keep going when everyone else has stopped. I remember being told early in my career that I wouldn't make it, that I should take whatever roles I could get, even if they weren't aligned with what I believed in. But I had a clear vision for the kind of work I wanted to do, the kind of career I wanted to build. So I said no to the wrong opportunities, even when saying yes would have been easier. That takes focus. That takes conviction. And sometimes it means standing alone. Standing alone doesn't mean being alone. When you have the courage to stand by your convictions, the right people find you. The right opportunities come your way, because excellence attracts excellence. Now let's talk about fear, because we all feel it. That voice in your head telling you that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve success, that you should play it safe. Fear is natural, even I feel it. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't the absence of fear. It's how you respond to it. You got to use fear as fuel. When I feel afraid, I know I'm about to grow. I know I'm pushing myself into new territory. And that's exactly where growth happens. outside your comfort zone. The most dangerous people aren't fearless. They're the ones who feel the fear and move forward anyway. Who understand that courage isn't the absence of fear, but action in the face of it. So when that fear shows up, and it will recognize it for what it is, a signpost, it's telling you this matters, this is worth doing, then use it as fuel. Channel into your work, into your preparation, into your focus. Let's talk about competition for a minute, because in this world you're always competing against someone or something, but the real competition is not out there, it's in the mirror. Your biggest competition is the person you were yesterday. Are you better today than you were yesterday? Have you learned something new? Have you pushed yourself a little further? Have you stayed true to your values? That's the only competition that matters. When you focus on beating others, you lose sight of your own path. But when you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, you become unstoppable. I've seen too many talented people get derailed because they were too busy watching what others were doing, comparing themselves, trying to follow someone else's blueprint. There is no blueprint. There's just you, your vision, and the work you're willing to put in. Stay in your lane. Run your race at your pace. Now, discipline, we need to talk about discipline. Because staying quiet, staying dangerous, and staying focused all require it. Discipline isn't sexy. It's not exciting. It's doing what needs to be done, day in and day out, whether you feel like it or not. It's getting up when you'd rather stay in bed. It's putting in the work when no one's watching. It's choosing the hard right over the easy wrong. Discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And the stronger your discipline, the further you'll go. I've been in this business for decades. You think I always feel motivated? No, there are days I don't want to get up at 4 a.m. Days I don't want to learn those lines. Days I don't want to push myself. But I do it anyway, because I built a discipline, and that discipline has built my career. Start small. Build habits. Be consistent. That's how discipline grows. And speaking of growth, let's talk about failure, because you will fail. We all do. The question isn't whether you'll fail, it's how you'll respond when you do. Failure isn't fatal. It's feedback. It's a teacher. It's showing you what doesn't work so you can find what does. I've failed more times than I can count. Been rejected for roles. Given performances I wasn't proud of. Made decisions I regretted. Failure is an event, not a person. You aren't a failure because you failed at something. You're only a failure if you stop trying. The most successful people I know have failed the most because they've tried the most. They've taken the most shots. They've been willing to put themselves out there again and again, regardless of the outcome. So don't fear failure, expect it. Learn from it, grow from it, and then get back up and try again. That resilience, that ability to take a hit and keep moving forward. That's what separates those who make it from those who don't. Let's talk about time, because time is the one resource you can never get back. Once it's gone for. How are you spending yours? Are you investing it in things that matter, in growth, in relationships, in your craft? Are you wasting it on distractions, on things that won't matter a year from now, let alone 5 or 10 years? Time is undefeated. It beats us all eventually. The question is what you'll do with the time you have. Is this the best use of my time right now? If the answer is no, I change what I'm doing. Simple as that. And here's another truth about time. It reveals everything. Who's putting in the work? Who's just talking? Who's committed to excellence and who's just going through the time will tell your story. Consistency isn't glamorous, it's showing up day after day, especially on the days you don't feel like it. I've been in Hollywood for decades now. Know why I'm still here? Because I kept showing up through the rejections, through the bad reviews, through the projects that didn't work out. I just kept coming back, kept working on my craft, kept striving to get better. Consistency compounds, just like interest in a bank account. A little improvement every day adds up to massive improvement over time. So don't worry about making giant leaps. Focus on taking small steps forward consistently. Those steps add up. Let's talk about the company you keep, because it matters. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. That's not just a saying. It's the truth. The people around you either raise your standards or lower them. They either inspire you to be better or they pull you down to their level. Choose wisely. I've had to make hard decisions about who I spend time with. Had to distance myself from people who weren't aligned with where I was going. Not because they were bad people, but because their vision didn't match mine. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, who push you to be better, who hold you accountable, who believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself. Those relationships are priceless. Now, about sacrifice, because there's no success without it. You can't have everything. You have to choose what matters most to you and be willing to sacrifice other things to get it. Want to be the best in your field? You have to sacrifice time with friends, sleep, comfort, the easy path. I miss birthdays, anniversaries, time with loved ones, because I was working, because I was committed to a goal. I'm not saying that's always the right choice, but I am saying you need to be clear about what you're willing to sacrifice and what you're not. Because if you try to have it all, you'll end up with nothing. Make those hard choices. Decide what matters most, then be willing to sacrifice for it. Let's talk about your self-talk. The voice in your head, the way you speak to yourself when nobody's listening. Is that voice a coach or a critic? Is it building you up or tearing you down? You got to be your own biggest supporter, your own best friend. Because if you don't believe in yourself, why should anyone else? I've had to work on this, had to learn to silence that inner critic that told me I wasn't good enough, that I didn't belong, that I couldn't do it. Replace those negative thoughts with affirmations, with truth, with belief in what's possible. Your mind believes what you tell it. So tell it good things. Tell it you're capable. Tell it you're worthy. Tell it you can overcome whatever challenges come your way, because you can. Speaking of challenges, they're coming. Count on it. Life will test you. It will push you to your limits and beyond. The question isn't whether challenges will come. It's how you respond when they do. Will you see them as obstacles or opportunities? As barriers or stepping stones? Every challenge is a chance to prove yourself, to grow stronger, to develop skills you didn't have before. I faced plenty of challenges in my career. Roles I couldn't seem to get right. Directors who pushed me to my limits. Personal struggles that made working difficult. But every single one of those challenges made me better. They forced me to dig deeper, to find resources within myself I didn't know I had. Don't pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to handle a difficult one. Now let's talk about purpose. Because without it, none of this matters. Why are you doing what you're doing? What's driving you? Is it just about money? Fame? Status? Or is there something deeper? The most fulfilled people I know aren't the richest or the most famous. They're the ones who are clear about their purpose and are living in alignment with it. Find something bigger than yourself to work for. Something that gets you out of bed in the morning even when you're tired. Something that makes the sacrifices worth it. For me, it's been about using my platform to inspire others, to tell stories that matter, to make people think, feel, and maybe see the world a little differently. What's it for you? What's your why? Find it. Connect with it. Let it drive you, because when the motivation fades, and discipline and purpose are what will keep you going. Let's talk about gratitude. Because it's easy to get so focused on where you're going that you forget to appreciate where you are. Take time each day to be grateful for the opportunity to pursue your dreams, for the people who support you, for the lessons you've learned, even for the struggles you face, because they've made you who you are. Gratitude changes your perspective. It shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, from what's wrong to what's right. And that shift makes all the difference. Some of my hardest days have been transformed by simply pausing to count my blessings, to remember how far I've come, to appreciate the journey, not just the destination. Don't wait until you made it to be grateful. Be grateful now for the process, for the struggle, for the opportunity to grow. Such a now about patience, because success takes time. Real, lasting, meaningful success doesn't happen overnight. The overnight success you see, they've usually been working for years, sometimes decades, before their big break. I was acting for years before anyone knew my name. Years of small roles, of rejection, of wondering if it would ever happen for me. But I kept going, kept working, kept believing. And eventually things started to turn around. Patience isn't passive. It's not about sitting around waiting for good things to happen. It's about continuing to work, to grow, to push forward, even when you're not seeing results yet. Plant seeds today that will grow into trees tomorrow. That's patience. And remember, the bigger the dream, the longer it might take. Be willing to play the long game. Let's talk about integrity, because success without it is failure. In a world where cutting corners is common, where ethics are flexible, where people will do whatever it takes to get ahead, choose integrity. Do what's right, even when it costs you. Keep your word. Stand by your values. Treat people with respect, regardless of what they can do for you. I've turned down roles that would have paid well, but compromised my values. I've walked away from projects that didn't feel right. I've stood by my principles, even when it wasn't the easy choice. And I can sleep at night. I can look myself in the mirror. I can be proud of the work I've done and the way I've done it. Success that comes at the expense of your integrity isn't success. It's a loss disguised as a choose character over fame. Choose principles over popularity. Choose doing what's right over doing what's easy. Let me talk about mentors. Because none of us succeeds alone. Find people who are where you want to be. Learn from them. Study them. Ask them questions if you can. I've had mentors throughout my career. People who shared their wisdom with me, who showed me the ropes, who believed in me before I fully believed in myself. Be humble enough to learn from others, to recognize that you don't have all the answers, that others have walked this path before you and have valuable insights to share. And when you've achieved some success, become a mentor yourself. Reach back and help others who are where you once were. That's how we create legacy, not just by what we achieve, but by who we help along the way. Now, about criticism. Because if you're doing anything worthwhile, it's coming your way. Not everyone will like what you do. Not everyone will understand your vision. Not everyone will support your journey. And that's okay. Learn to distinguish between constructive criticism, feedback that can help you improve, and destructive criticism, comments meant to tear you down. Accept the first, ignore the second. Some of the best advice I ever received came from critics, from people who pointed out flaws in my performance that I couldn't see myself. That feedback made me better. But I've also received criticism that wasn't about making me better. It was about making me smaller, about fitting me into someone else's box, about conforming to their expectations. That criticism, I leave it where I found it. Everyone's opinion matters. Know whose does? Let's talk about risk. Because playing it safe never led to greatness. You got to be willing to take chances, to step out of your comfort zone, to do things that scare you. Risk is uncomfortable. It's uncertain. But it's also where growth happens, where innovation occurs. Some of the best decisions I've made in my career were the ones that scared me the most. Roles I wasn't sure I could pull off. Projects that pushed me beyond what I'd done before. Those risks, they paid off. Not always in the way I expected, but they always led to growth, to learning, to becoming more than I was before. Now, am I saying you should be reckless? No. Calculated risk, smart risk, risk where you've done your homework, where you've prepared as much as possible, where you've considered the potential downside. But at some point, you got to jump. You got to take that chance. You got to bet on yourself. Because if you don't, who will? Now about vision. Because without it, you're just wondering. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? In 10? What are you working toward? What's the bigger picture? Vision gives direction to your efforts. It helps you make decisions. It keeps you going when things get tough. I've always had a clear vision for my career, for the kind of work I wanted to do, for the impact I wanted to have. And that vision has guided my choices, my preparation, my focus. Your vision doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It just needs to be yours. Something that resonates with you, something that excites you, something worth working for. Take time to clarify your vision. Write it down, revisit it regularly, let it guide you, and be willing to adjust it as you grow, as you learn, as you evolve. Vision without action is just a dream. Action without vision is just passing time. Vision with action can change the world, or at least your world. Let's talk about adversity, because life isn't fair. Bad things happen to good people. Circumstances won't always be in your favor. How you respond to adversity reveals your character. It shows what you're made of. It tests your commitment to your vision. I've faced adversity. We all have. Times when it seemed like everything was working against me, when the odds were stacked so high I couldn't see over them. Those moments, they're defining. They either break you or they make you stronger. choose stronger. Use adversity as a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. Let it refine you, not define you. Let it reveal what you're capable of, not what you can't do. Some of the most successful people in history faced enormous adversity. They lost everything. They failed publicly. They were rejected, ridiculed, but they refused to stay down. They used that adversity as fuel. They let it strengthen their resolve rather than weaken their spirit. You could do the same. Now about habits, because we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit. Your daily habits, the small actions you take consistently, determine your destiny. They shape your character, your skills, your results. What are you doing daily that's moving you towards your vision? What habits are supporting your growth? What routines are making you better? And just as important, what habits are holding you back? What behaviors do you need to change? What patterns do you need to break? I've built success supporting habits over years. Waking up early, reading daily, working out, preparing thoroughly for every role, reflecting on my performance and looking for ways to improve. These aren't exciting activities. They're not Instagram-worthy moments, but they're the foundation of whatever success I've achieved. Build habits that serve you, that move you forward, that align with your vision and values. It won't be easy at first, new habits never are. But stick with it. The discomfort is temporary, the benefits last a lifetime. Let's talk about authenticity. Because in a world full of copies, originals are invaluable. Don't try to be someone else. There's already someone doing that job. Your job is to be you, fully, completely, authentically you. I've never tried to be anyone but myself. I've studied other actors, sure, learned from them, been inspired by them, but I've never tried to copy them because I knew that wasn't the path to standing out. Your unique perspective, your unique voice, your unique story, that's your advantage. That's what makes you irreplaceable. That's what makes you dangerous. So don't hide your quirks. Don't downplay your differences. Don't try to fit in when you were born to stand out. Be authentic, be real, be you. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs your original. It's now about giving back. Because success that's only about you is empty. Find ways to lift others as you climb, to share your knowledge, to use your platform, whatever size it is, to make a positive difference. Some of the most fulfilling moments in my career haven't been about awards or acclaim. They've been about the impact my work has had on others, the lives it's touched, the conversations it started, the changes it's inspired. Success gives you a voice. Make sure you're using it for something worthwhile. It doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to make headlines. Small acts of kindness, of mentorship, of service, they matter. They ripple outward in ways you might never see. Give without expectation of return. Give because it's the right thing to do. Give because someone once gave. That's how you create legacy. That's how you make success meaningful. That's how you ensure that your journey isn't just about you, but about all the lives you touch along the way. Now, as we near the end of our time together, I want to bring it back to where we started. Stay quiet. Stay dangerous. Stay focused. These aren't just words. They're a way of life. A philosophy that can guide you through challenges, through victories, through the everyday moments that make up a life. Stay quiet, not out of fear or insecurity, but out of strategic wisdom. Know when to speak and when to listen. Know that your actions speak louder than your words ever could. Stay dangerous, not by being harmful, but by being formidable, by being prepared, by having skills, knowledge, and character to make you a force to be reckoned with. Stay focused, not by ignoring everything else, but by being clear about what matters most, by making decisions that align with your vision, your values, your purpose. This is the path to not just success, but to meaningful success, to lasting impact, to a life you can be proud of. It won't be easy. Nothing worthwhile ever is. There will be doubts, fears, setbacks, days when you wonder if it's worth it. It is. Keep going, keep growing, keep believing. The world needs what you have to offer. Your voice, your vision, your unique contribution. Don't rob us of that by playing small, by giving up, by settling for less than you're capable of. Stay quiet, stay dangerous, stay focused, and watch what happens.
Not following us, you will probably never hear my voice again. But if you are, congratulations. If you read this far, This shows that you are the part of 0.01% who actually finished what they start. If you are serious about changing life, then make sure to join our movements by living as a follow.